Hi friends, this is Geographer teacher. This is Geography lesson 1, academic year 2020-21. So in this lesson we'll be talking about the Geographer tools, standards and the learning outcomes as well as. So uh, this is the lesson 1 Geographer tools. Most of the writers they mention in the geography book 5 themes of the geography as a lesson 1 or section 1 for them. But I searched instead of 5 themes, I preferred to teach geographer tools. After that, we can go for the 5 themes of the geography. Why I did that? Because um, studying 5 themes of the geography, we need to understand the basic or the foundation of the course, at least the basic terminology, that how we can identify the maps, what tools are used to be study the maps, what are the different parts of the map. Okay, so without knowing all these things, I think we are unable to understand, okay, the themes of the geography. The second part, okay, depends on the standards or standard number. So you can see here that is the indicator, which is the part of um, standard 1.1, and that shows that how to use maps and other geographic representation, geospatial technology and spatial thinking to understanding. So this is the standard 1, and it's simplified into 3 indicators. 1.1, you can see here the properties and functions of geography representation, such as the maps and globes, diagram, and other photographs remotely used in geographic visualization. However, 1.1.2 is a geospatial data for connected to locations of Earth's surface, and integrated 3 is the geospatial technologies. What are these technologies? Like a GIS and GPS, okay, which is uh, usually used in our daily life. Another part of that one is, you can see here that learning outcomes are actually the skills that each indicator consists of, okay, or how many skills each indicator needs to be covered. So the standard definition for the standard is that is a benchmark or certain uh, criteria to what extent that a teacher or an educator teach the course to their students, okay, and what skills these standards or indicators covered. So you can see here, these are the Bloom taxonomy's words: identify and describe, identify, describe, identify, describe, and it can be many. Okay, if you're gonna read, okay, all these detail, or if you have your own course for that, you can easily understand that what is skills at the end of the student. At the end of the course, students will be able to learn. So each indicator has their own skills. Some has the 2, some 10, some, so it depends on the standards. Okay, or in other words, we can see that learning outcomes are the I can statements that at the end of the students will be able to do. So what they will be able to do, you can see and you can check here. So these are again skills. Okay, so this is the overview that how a course should be carried and how should plan. Okay, and but we'll be in the another playlist we'll be talking about that how you have to plan and what does it mean, the standards, and from where you have to get it for that. So first of all, for the first lesson, you can see that academic vocabulary and content. So the vocabulary has been divided in two. One is the language terminology, another one is the subject terminology. So these are the subject terminology you can see here, which you will be studying or we will be discussing throughout our lessons. Okay, and here that is an image. We can say that's a globe or the earth representation, but in a flat representation. So it's a globe but with a flat representation, so we can say it's a projection or map projection. So you can see that there are the imaginary lines, okay, that we cannot see naked eye but that exist. So the first imaginary line you can see the equator, which divides earth into two poles. This one is the north and this one is the south. This one is the east and this one is the west. Oh, here you can see that you can easily identify through this compass rose as the north, east, west and south. This compass rose shows the directions, okay, and here is the equator, the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere, and these are the tropic or circles. So here furthermore, that equator means an imaginary line which divides the earth into two poles, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. So hemisphere in the geography means half. So equator divides this earth into two equal halves, northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. However, this is the primary meridian line, which is longitude or vertical line. However, equator is the latitude line, which is a horizontal line. So this line, it also divides the earth in two pole, but this is the eastern and this one is the western hemisphere. So prime meridian and equator both are the imaginary line that divides the earth into two equal parts or halves, which call the hemisphere. Another imaginary line you can see in the northern pole, okay, that is the latitude line, which has, latitude 23.5 north. Similarly, the same measurement of the latitude, but in the southern part, Tropic of Capricorn. Another a latitude line, which is called Arctic Circle. Similarly, south has, Antarctic Circle having the same measurement or latitude 66.5 S, which means south, 66.5 north, which means north. So these five latitude lines: one, Arctic Circle, Tropic Cancer, Equator, Tropic Capricorn, Antarctic Circle. In geography, we call these are the circles. So there are five circles, okay, and they have uh, their own latitude. So the south and north, they have the same latitude but with different directions for that. So friends, okay, these for the today's lesson, okay, this was an imaginary lines, okay, and the next lesson we'll be talking about the difference between a map and globe and what is the map projection, okay. If you like this lesson, please subscribe and don't forget to subscribe or like my channel. If you have any question, you can comment on it. So we'll meet in the next lesson about the map, the difference between map and globe. So till that, bye.